Hello. As many of you know, it is the third Friday following the 6th anniversary of Prendergast, which means, of course, that it is time for another one of our annual Mystery Hole episodes. Mystery Hole's pretty cool. It's Duke gets a phone call on his phone from a guy who says there's something in the mystery hole, and then sometime later I get a fax message, and it says that I should go look at the mystery hole, and then we both ignore those, and that kind of keeps going on for a couple days, and eventually I start having horrifying nightmares, and then those go away, and then I check out the mystery hole. So let's do that now. Now, I don't really know what's in the mystery hole, because it's a mystery in the hole. But I do know a couple of rules to the game. One is that you can't stick your limbs in the mystery hole. It's not a good idea. Luckily, got this stick here. So let's see. Oh, it looks like a MBU 13 copy. Oh, it's a heavy bitch. Come on. Folks, this might be bad. Let's see now. Yeah. There we go. Oh, shit. Well, there goes my stick, but got the mask out of the mystery hole. So, a little bit of dirt on the diaphragm, not too bad. Alright, let's see. Looks like a North MBU 13 copy. And one of the really ugly cheek filter ones, too. I'm not falling in the mystery hole. That really hurt my knee the last time. I already had Lyme disease, and then I slammed my knee against the side of the hole, and it hurt like a bitch. Let's see. Don't want to go too close to the bucket tree. Let's see. Ah, fuck. This will work. Here. Alright, so yeah, here we have our MBU 13 copy. I know the camera's not that great, but it's okay, because these are all the same. So, for clarity, the MBU 13 was a military aviation mask. It was designed for seaborne threats, and you've probably seen one at your local SERP store at least once. They'll usually get like a dozen in, and they're not terrible. They're basically this face piece, no cheek filters. It just has a hose, and they'll generally have a microphone. I think hydration. I think they have hydration, don't they? And they're always made by Sierra Aviation. They're kind of cool because they'll actually have a tinted visor that you can Velcro over them, and then they'll usually have a cloth to cover that. And they're pretty neat. The reason I don't like them is because back in the... When is this dated? This is dated 87. So back in the 70s and 80s when the MBU 13 was introduced, all the industrial companies were like, well, shit, that's a great idea. And they started copying them. And copying them. And, I mean, Pulmosan, Welsh, Norton, it's just 4 off the top of my head, and I know there's like a dozen more. And each company made like a dozen sub-variants of them. Interestingly, the Welsh ones, I've got one. I think I actually did a video on it. It actually has the Davis approval numbers on it because Davis patched those over to Welsh at some point when they were working together. But we're talking about this one. Now, these are fairly versatile face pieces, since companies would basically either use the hose port here, or they would put cheek filters on them. I've seen a lot of APR variants, a lot of hosed supplied air variants, since that was very in at the time. These were very popular for paint spray applications. They're still boring. Now, one of the cool things about them, though, I guess if you think it's cool, is that the original MBU-13 had this tube was on here for the pilots to be able to equalize the pressure. The pressure in the mask? It was an equalization tube, anyway. It's part of aviation. It's one of those things about dealing with pressures and getting two pressures in the same place to align so that you don't have your sinuses congest or fuck up or whatever. Point is, it doesn't really have any place on a conventional APR, but kind of like how the Soviets would copy American designs verbatim without really analyzing them or thinking about it too much, which is why some copies of like American planes would have holes in them from where there were bullet holes or something, and the Soviets would just roll with it because they weren't sure if it was a technological innovation or not. Every MBU-13 copy has this little tube here. It is completely useless unless it's actually, if it's not in the MBU-13, it serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. And they could have just sealed that off and made it flat there, but it's on there consistently. It's really a pretty simple mask. It's got a 5-point head harness. Exhales right there. Obviously, you have your deflectors here. And literally what they've done, is that this is going right up, and these are just joined into the deflectors there. Interestingly, this is just a rubber plug here, and I could pull that out if I wanted to. They really, I'm almost tempted to say that they probably used molds, rejected molds or something. I don't have enough of a historical background to be able to tell you for certain. And I don't know, these were popular for a while. They'll still kind of see them around today or see variants of them. There's a god-awful lot of them out there, and if you want one, they're stupid cheap to pick up. The black ones are a little bit harder to find because of Slipknot fans, because one of their idiot clown rodeo retards took one of these and drilled a bunch of holes in it and put it over a space helmet or some shit. So the black ones tend to go for more, which is stupid because they're all equally shitty, just like Slipknot fans, and I don't really see the point, but that's how it is. Yeah. Oh, the one other interesting thing I can think of that I could possibly say about these pieces of shit, which I'm going to do like a dozen more videos on them because they each have some minor sub-variants, but the Polmasan version of this, if you remember their great mask called the 1750, also known as the Leco number 45, as Leco resold them under that title. The 1850 is actually an MBU-13, which is kind of cool when you think about it, I guess. That whole series would therefore be, I actually have an AL-180, which is the MBU-13 version of the AL-170. Wow, there's a really pissed off crow over there. Huh. Anyway, yeah, the 1850 is presumably this, but it actually takes 1750 filter through the chin port. I would assume we don't actually have photos of it. Yeah, they're fucking mad. Cool. Anyway, thanks for watching or whatever, I guess. That's probably long enough sitting here.